We're in a city built on 7 hills, and the fans hoping to see 7 points on the board early. We're at Cincinnati's Paycor Stadium. Coming up, a highly anticipated contest between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cincinnati Bengals. On the Tampa Bay side of the field, head coach Todd Bowles. These guys just about set to go in this one. Welcome in, everybody. Kate Scott alongside Brock Heward, and I know all of us are ready for this new season to begin. And here we go on EA Sports. And he's brought down just inside the 25. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're going to be led out by the 7th-year star, former #1 overall pick, Joe Burrow.
It's the dawn of a new season, Kate, with all the promise in the world ahead of he and his squad. And this is where all that off-season planning, the reps in camp, the sweat, the blood, the tears come into play. And you really don't want to stumble out the gate. You want to be the horse who jumps to the front right away and let everybody try to chase you down.
And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
I feel so bad, I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Burrow on 2nd down. Catch made by Chase Brown. They bring him down, but we all saw how that one looked, right? There was a face mask involved, and the flag is out. So the completion doesn't end on the tackle. Add another 15 for the face mask, and it's a pretty good play offensively. So the big penalty brings up this fresh set of downs. Now put one of the tight ends in motion. They'll pitch it out to Brown. He's got room to roam. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
He'll always sign off on it when that particular call comes in the headset and the running back gets a chance to hear it. A toss is his chance to get outside quickly and let that athleticism shine as he dances through the defense.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. It's a gain of 2 on the play. Still some work to do on 2nd and goal. Again, they go to Brown. And the defense wins this rep. That's stopped at the line, and now they've got 3rd and goal. That right there, exactly the type of havoc that a well-designed blitz can cause, Brock. Everyone's so busy picking up their rushers. That D-tackle cleaned up.
Sure did. He gets his one-on-one. He shocks him with those heavy...
Nowhere to go with it, and he's planted. They got him at the 16. And after a loss of 8, that means it is 4th and goal.
This defense, they might give up some points here on this opening drive, but they're doing their best with that pressure to not let it be 6.
And on 4th down, out comes the Bengals field goal team and Evan McPherson. From the same spot as an extra point here, 32 yards. McPherson's kick is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Even if it's not a touchdown, well, you're happy to see the offense produce points in the first trip out there this season. And for a kicker, kind of nice to start 1 for 1 as well.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Now after the play, looks like we have somebody banged up. What we hope is it's nothing major. Don't want to see a serious injury less than a quarter into the season. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. I'd say the defense will take this today. They're across the line, handing him a loss. First play of the game. Run lost him a yard to begin the drive. Here comes 2nd and 11. Back-to-back carries here. Hits a seam at the 40. There he goes, right sideline. And in, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically, and a lot of answers have to be found defensively.
So up comes Mayfield and his offense. They're going for 2. They'll try to run it in. And the 2-point try is good. He reaches the end zone and gives them a 5-point lead. Defense perhaps a little too worried about the pass there, partner, and as a result, they're able to run it in for 2.
It really becomes a numbers game down here. And you see a lot of teams employ this, right? If there's numbers there against the pass, we're going to be committed to running. If they stack the box, we got to be willing to throw it. In this case, it was a numbers advantage and the simplest path for 2 points.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bengals headed back out there offensively, Brock. So let's take a look at their offensive coordinator, Dan Pitcher, who's helping oversee this group. Pitcher's in his 3rd season now as the Bengals coordinator and has been with the team as an offensive assistant since back in 2016. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Now Burrow. That throw finds Jamar Chase. Brought down there after a gain of about 14 yards. And it'll be 1st down Bengals.
You just love that kind of execution because it's able to make an impact, Kate, beyond simply getting the 1st down. That yardage, that really sets them up now to be aggressive with a new set of downs.
New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Working on 2nd down. Burrow. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. The rookie out of Miami with the pick. And the Buccaneers are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his 1st career interception. I love seeing moments like this, Brock. You know he's thought about it for years, and now it is reality. The rookie with his 1st career NFL interception. He's got to be so excited to take that football home with him.
Yeah, and I wonder, do you think there's still mantles to put it on?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Probably in some glass showcase somewhere, but hopefully just the first of many more to come.
On 1st down, they'll run. And his gain is stopped on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. We're through 1 quarter of this opening weekend of football. Our score, 8-3. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop in behind the line. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Back to the well again. Pushing for the red zone. That's a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Well, we're just, let's see, Kate, 2 drives into this season, but they've got to be elated with how this offense is humming. Back-to-back drives to start the year. It's exactly the plan you want.
All right, here we go, Brock. Todd Bowles believing in his offense. They're going for 2. They want to run it across. And that's into the end zone, so they follow the touchdown by tacking on 2 more to their lead. Worked so well the first time. Hey, why not go right back to it? See if you can be successful again. They do. And they are.
I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because you almost feel the confidence, right? Like if you get it the first time, you're almost playing with house money. Even if you fail, it's still 14 points. It's not really a failure. And if you get it, well, you gain even more confidence and make that opponent think that much more.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. On the return, this is Pirine. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. So now here comes the Bengals on offense. And coming off the interception, a good chance to reestablish some momentum as they get set. Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Burrow to the air now. Pressure gets there. The defense gets home. He's dropped at the 14. Vita Vea. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down. Burrow on the play action. Has it downfield. It's Chase. And he's out of bounds after picking up a bunch. Still not enough for the first, though, Brock. 3rd down coming up.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
And the rush is going to win this rep. They get to him. And now it's going to be 4th and 9.
It never gets old up here, Kate, in the booth, right? Witnessing the first for somebody, in this case, the first sack and what they expect to be a highly decorated career. So much invested in this young first-rounder, and you just love seeing him make an impact right away. Well done.
Fields this clean at the 30. And he didn't quite break it, but still an excellent return that gets him up near midfield. So that's going to be the 2-minute warning, Brock. 1:55 remaining in our first half. Sit tight. More from Paycor Stadium on the other side. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Another carry for him. Has a lane inside the 35. And he's taken out as he brings it down towards the 10. Huge gain down the left side. 36 yards. A nice early return there. They're going to be more than happy with that one, Brock. And could be a huge boost to their offense if this ground game can get going at this pace.
Every offense in this league searches for explosives. How can we find it? It's often through the air, but when you get it on the ground like that, boy, is it a huge bonus.
To the end zone, and this is going to be brought in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ted Hurst, his first career touchdown on his first career catch.
That's now back-to-back-to-back touchdowns for this offense. And I'll tell you, Kate, my eyes, I'm watching this defense, right? And they're trying to make adjustments from the side. But with every score, they can't. This offense is, out-adjusting them right now.
All right, here we go, Brock. Todd Bowles believing in his offense. They're going for 2. Keeping it on the ground. And he is in for the score. We may not see them kick ever again, partner. They're now 3 for 3 on 2-point tries today. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Samuel now to return it. Jukes away from one. And that's out of bounds all the way across the 45, very nearly to midfield. Cincinnati just about set for its next offensive possession. They're down 21 now after that last score, and in need of a comeback as we work through this game. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run by Brown. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Tight end motioning right. Burrow to pass now on 2nd down. Has him on the quick hitter. And no shot at getting upfield after making this catch, so give him 1 on that short completion. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers, their first. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call's going to be on 3rd down. Offense headed to the line, just need to punch it forward a yard to reset the downs. 3rd and short, it's Burrow. That's good for the first and more. And they get this down to the 28. A pickup of 17 and a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati.
They call 3rd downs money downs for a reason, Kate, because it takes everybody offensively to cash in. Excellent protection, set the table for the QB to get the completion and the yards necessary.
Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. Cincinnati uses its 2nd timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Tight ends will eat up every one of those opportunities to show and prove they could be chain movers as well. Even as they get more and more recognition in this league, they're still constantly working to prove that they're playmakers too.
Working inside the red zone. Sends this one to and through the end zone, so that's incomplete. That's going to bring up 2nd down. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
A 2nd down throw from Burrow. Looked for a second like he had him, Brock, but he just couldn't hang on. That was a good throw to fit it into double coverage, but too tough through that contact. 3rd down.
Geez, with each incompletion, each turnover, each sack, you can almost just feel this offense's frustration. Really imperative this quarterback stay positive. Just keep chopping away.
That is once again incomplete, and consecutive incompletions have now pushed them to 4th down.
Boy, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
McPherson's kick is good, and it gets a fraction closer as the lead's down to 18.
It's only 3 points, and they're going to still trail at halftime, but every little bit helps. And I'll tell you this as well. It also helps maybe later in the game. You got a 4th quarter clutch kick. To have that confidence built, that's important.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And he's brought down just inside the 25. So as the Buccaneer offense heads back out, let's take a look at their coordinator, Zach Robinson. It's first year running the BUCCS offense for the former NFL QB. He was with the rival Falcons the last 2 years, and before that, he was a trusted assistant of Sean McVay with the Rams. Now Mayfield. Left side into the hands of Hurst. And they've got a first down. Give him a gain of 13 on that previous play. Tampa spends its second timeout now. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
They've got first down here from the 36. Baker now. Incomplete pass, and we're down to 12 seconds remaining. Well, Brock, this substantial deficit sure hasn't toned the edge that this defense is playing with, huh? If anything, feels like they might be getting more aggressive, looking to make some sort of impact play.
And that's because turnovers are really the name of the game for this defense at this point, Kate. That aggressiveness still super welcome, no question. But they know...
There he goes on the right side. And he gets home. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bucky Irving on the board. That's his first of the season. Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock. He found a seam, got through it, and he was gone.
You know, it's one thing, Kate, to have singles hitters, right? And you love those, and you appreciate guys that can get on base. But it's the home run hitters that are the difference makers, and what a big-time effort.
Baker leading the Bucks up to the line. They're going for two. Trying for it on the ground. This is short of the end zone, although there is a flag down, so this may not be over. Well, we all saw him haul down awkwardly, and the face mask penalty nullifies what was a great defensive play. Another shot now at this extra point. Sent right down the middle and good. And they continue piling onto this lead. So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends our half, or if we get a play from scrimmage, as this one's away. Samuel now to return it. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So we've reached halftime, Brock, in a lopsided contest so far. Let's hear what Scott Hansen has to say. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. Our trip around the league starts now, and we go to a land down under. Both teams taking long flights to Melbourne, Australia. The 49ers taking on the Rams. And it's Kyron Williams. The team got into the red zone, he gets into the end zone. A 10-yard touchdown run. The Rams had to travel a long way to get there, but they get the Week 1 victory over their NFC West rival. Next up, let's look in on the Ravens and Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this is the tight end, Tyler Warren. He's going to haul it in middle of the field, and from there, it's a foot race, and they won't catch him. 69 yards for the touchdown catch. The Colts trying to win the home opener. They have the lead at halftime. Lastly, let's check out the impact player from this opening slate of games of 2026, and it's this man. And this is JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He was absolutely electric. This one of 3 touchdown grabs for him in the game. The Seahawks raise their Super Bowl banner and begin the new season the same way they ended last season, with a win over the Patriots. And as night falls on a fantastic first Sunday of football, a look here at the rest of the action on a hectic first day of the NFL's regular season. In the game you're watching, our visitors got a tremendous performance out of their running back in the first half. His guys looking to start the new season off with a victory. Can they make this halftime lead hold up? To find out, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin commentators Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Happy to hear from our guy, Scott Hansen, as always. And we were also happy during this break, the rain letting up a decent bit. Doesn't look like it's going to go away completely as we look at the forecast. But let's see. Let's get this third quarter underway. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So as the Buccaneer offense heads back out, let's take a look at their coordinator, Zach Robinson. His group's got the lead, Brock. They'd certainly love to extend it here. First call here coming from the shotgun. They're going to start the half with a give to Irving. He's got a gain of 6 there. Dax Hill up for the stop.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Once again, Irving. And a defender finally gets there, but not before a big gain. 18 yards on that play. And that is good for a Tampa Bay first down. Right back to Irving now. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Even though we don't have mics in that huddle, I can imagine what's being said down there, Kate. It is keep feeding him. When you get positive yards and you start to run the ball and wear out your opponent, don't go away from it.
They'll run now on 2nd down. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Tackle made by Juwan Bentley.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They give it to him again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A pickup of 2, and that run doesn't get it for them either. It's 4th and 2. They only managed a little, Brock, but not enough. That run does not get the first down against a nice defensive effort there.
It sure was. And I think as much as anything, Kate, it was just tied together.
Yeah.
That front and that second level playing off one another and stopping that run before it could get started.
Finishes with a gain of 10 there. That means he's staying out there. They convert on 4th. So they'll head up here 1st and 10 from the 34. Hand off to the back. And he's going to manage 13 yards here before going down. That picks them up the first. Just continuing to grind him down, Brock. That is exactly what you want to do with a lead like this in the second half. You want long, sustained drives.
Because it really serves 2 purposes, right, Kate? Number 1, it helps you build, hopefully, some points on that board. But just as importantly, you're playing keep away, and that other side's not getting to touch the rock.
The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
And we've seen a lot of this today. He's in again. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
I think the word stacking has replaced the word process. At least in these coaches' meetings, Kate, that we're sitting in. Continue to stack momentum with each successive drive. Well, you're not supposed to score every single time you touch the ball, but here we are, trying to do it again to begin the second half.
Defense had a chance to scheme it up, now lined up to defend this try. They'll try it on the ground. And right back into the end zone he goes. So one play, it's a touchdown. Then the next for two, and he's extended their lead. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. On the return, this is Pirine. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Here come the Bengals to take over once again. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Man, some of these middle backers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
We've reached the end of 3 in our Week 1 opener. It's the Bengals with possession, but they're in a pretty deep hole to start the 4th. Looks like the rain is stopping. Field conditions still pretty slick, but no more rain at the moment. It's second down. Looking to throw, Burrow. He brushed him off with ease. Delivers another move. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. They're signaling for a stoppage here, and yep, there's a player injured after that snap. Not what they wanted to see in Week 1 as their medical staff heads out to check on him. Throw left side, and Gesicki has it. And they won't get any of the action they wanted after that catch. The completion limited to just 3 yards. Now it's 4th down. The Bengals send out the punting unit. It'll be Ryan Rico doing the honors. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. The Buccaneer offense back out for another series. And the way they have just been running it right through this defense all game, Brock, it's really been astounding to see an NFL defense defeated so soundly.
You just don't expect to see a defense at this level of football get worked so much on the ground. Every unit prides itself, at least a little bit, on being an old-school throwback team who can win a slugfest in the trenches. Yet this ground game, they've been doing all the slugging here.
We've got fireworks on the first play of the drive. 44 yards. Shotgun handoff to Irving. And this one's going the wrong way. Nice win for that defense as they send him backwards. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
This is Irving on second. Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday, but doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
Baker now off the play fake. That one's good to Godwin. Good work by this offense as they get about 20 on the play before the defense stops them. And that will set up a Bucs first down. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Buccaneers looking like they'll start this season with a win. Rain is back, going to make conditions even more difficult. It's 1st and 10. Handoff headed right, Irving. And it's close, but he's not going to score. Out of bounds right at the goal line, Brock. It's going to be 1st and goal. And this is now a 100-yard game for him after that last carry. Man, what a strong day he's had running it for this offense. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Tucker. And stop me if you've heard this before, Brock. They've scored again, and they grow that lead further. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that these guys will take a lot more of this over the next 4 months. And Brock, if this is the norm, they are not going to have to worry about missing the postseason again this year, maybe anytime soon.
They all know it's a long race ahead, but that was a nice little sprint to start it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
These next few weeks, though, we will see if they can keep up the pace they started today.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. Now the weather not affecting him, Brock, as this is up and good. And they just keep adding to their lead. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Return starts from the goal line. And he'll be just shy of getting to at least the 20. Bit of a short return as he's out of the 19. The Bengals and running back Chase Brown getting set to begin another drive here. And the running lanes, and they've been hazardous. Not quite the decorated collection of highlights from him that we're going to look at here. Those big plays, the explosive runs where he leads an offense, just haven't been there for him in this one. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Burrow setting to throw. That's complete to Gesicki outright. He's going to be forced out after he picks up about 19 yards. And that's going to be good for a Bengals first down. Quite the start to that drive, huh, partner? First play sets him up at the 38. Burrow. And he can't hang on. The catch was there for him, Brock, but his hands took that one off, so the incompletion means it's 2nd down.
They needed a lot more out of this offense in this one, Kate, to keep pace in this contest. Just wasn't there. Continuity wasn't there. Rhythm wasn't there. Confidence wasn't there. This is one they like to forget.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow again. Higgins downfield, and he has it. And this play's nearly going to reach that 25-yard line. Defender there to take him out just short of it. A big one for the Bengals. 35 yards.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
That is caught, and it's Higgins again. And out of bounds he goes after picking up close to 8 yards there. So 2nd and short coming up.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Great start on that first down. Only need 2 here on 2nd. Motioning him from the slot right. Here's Burrow. Taken in by Chase, left side. And he's got him a nice goal to go here as he goes out at the 8-yard line.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Throwing is Burrow. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and leave teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Burrow back to throw. And this one's misplayed and falls to the ground. Incomplete, and now it's 3rd down.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
3rd and goal, the offense hoping something can finally go right here. Sticking in the air, it's Burrow. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal.
That's one of those 3rd down situations where you're asking an awful lot of your man to make a play to keep this drive going. Too much of a contested catch there, unable to bring it in.
McPherson's kick is good. And Brock, I'd say that's more of a moral victory than something that's really going to affect the deficit much.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Johnson now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And his production is carried over into this 2nd half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they placed upon him. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. They give to Irving to start this drive. Breaks through and breaks away. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
While that run may not move the chains, Kate, that is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
And this will only complicate matters for 3rd down, partner. They're sent backwards. I think they might have taken that 1st down for granted there, Brock, and now their punishment is they got to figure out 3rd down.
Yeah, a little bit of questioning, some mind games now, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't that work out? Can we trust to run it here on 3rd down? Not a gigantic call, but one that certainly creates a lot of confusion.
Third and short, Mayfield. Complete beyond the marker. They rally to him after a gain of about 7. That effort enough. They've got the 1st down. So it's a win for the visiting Buccaneers. 1 down, a whole lot more wins to go, Brock. But hey, victors to begin this regular season.
Yeah, I think it's both these guys go across the field and shake hands with one another. They do know, Kate, to your point, it is a long year. But what this does is it pays off your training camp. It does instill some confidence you did all the right things through July and August to kick the season off.
So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Buccaneers winners, as we say so long from Cincinnati. Well, we all know, right? Pirates always ready to sail through storms. And it's a good thing the Buccaneers are ready for that because storms on their way to us here at Raymond James Stadium just off of Tampa Bay. Only one team will keep the winning waves going to start the season as we're off in week 2. Return coming from the 6. This makes it up to the 25. So here are the Browns now, headed out for their first drive. At the helm for them, second year now out of the University of Colorado, Shedeur Sanders.
People who get stuck on the last name or draft day fall will lose sight of the QB that this guy can be in the NFL. Confidence is a funny thing, especially from the outside, to judge what it may look like, what it may sound like, but I know this, you got to have it to play in this league.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. They've got a man in motion. Now the first carry for Quinshon Judkins. Well, maybe the rest of the game's going to be headed in the proper direction, Brock, but their first play winds up going backwards. And in the middle of all that chaos and traffic, look at that. It was their safety who ran in to clean that up.
Yeah, with their size and where they come from on the field, it's pretty cool. They love those opportunities to blitz, kind of hide behind their defenders and their peers, and then go finish the tackle.
Tillman down the field, and he's got it. He's hit, finally taken out. So call it a gain of about 23 on the play before they got to him. And it's going to be first down Cleveland. Sanders takes the handoff, now to throw. And that was just a little bit too low to be brought in.
That's a throw at this level. With so much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. Got to be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
Here's Judkins on second down. No luck there. Ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. It's going to be third down.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against them. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
And oh, he drops the deep shot. A big play to start the game, but it slips through incomplete. So they couldn't throw for it on third down, and as a result, they're headed off the field earlier than expected on their opening series.
Keeping him off the scoreboard, well, that's already a win defensively. Not letting him even cross midfield, that's the cherry on top.
This one carries out of bounds. Not the greatest field position awaiting them. It's spotted at the 11. So here now are the Buccaneers on offense to begin their first drive. Steering the ship, approaching a decade now in the NFL, the former #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield.
Baker's just one of these guys. I guess spark plug, Kate, honestly. Like, spark plug just comes to my mind as he's sparked his career, really turning it around after being cut and traded. And every time he takes the field, it's must-see TV.
No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
He won't be able to get past the line, and very quickly, Brock, they're going to be facing third down to begin this ball game.
Not every corner in this league can make the play he just made right there. Sure, there's pure coverage guys, not really known for their tackling, but this guy, well, he's someone who isn't afraid to stick his nose in there and make a stop.
Short pass brought in, and a big chunk picked up on that play, over 20, and it gets him the first. All right. Now things starting to pick up a little bit after a slow start, Brock. Last things fans want to see is a couple of uninspiring drives to begin a game.
Yep, they get the first and generate just a little excitement that we could see maybe our first touchdown here, or at least avoid another quick punt.
And the coverage too much to battle through on this play. Multiple defenders there, a lot of contact at the catch. This one's incomplete. All right, partner testing the perimeter early there. Coverage held up. Could be a tough day for those outside receivers to make an impact.
Okay, partner, testing you here. You've heard me say this a lot. Okay, coordinator's job is to get you man-to-man coverage, and your job is?
To win it. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on third down.
You know what I love about that run? Even though he got the game ball last week in a huge breakout game for him, and he's showing you the determination isn't just about 1 week. He's putting his head down and going.
Met there, and the contact takes him to the sideline. It's going to be about a 22-yard gain. And that is good for a Buccaneer first down.
That's just one of those plays on an opening drive, Kate, where on one side it's demoralizing. Defensively, rally, go make that tackle. But offensively, it just infuses you with so much confidence, knowing if you can just put the ball in your guys' hands, they can make a difference after the catch.
A much tougher test for the league's rushing leader here in week 2, as they close in on him and hand him a loss on that play.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
On second down, Mayfield. Catch made by Bucky Irving. Taken down finally to curtail the damage, but still 22 yards on that pickup. And that is good for a Tampa Bay first down. We've finished one quarter in what's still a scoreless game. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. Here's Baker. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Here's 2nd and 10 from the 21. Here's Baker to throw. And that hit breaks up the catch, takes us to 3rd down. Got the one-on-one they wanted, Brock, on that slant, but just not enough to get the completion.
Yeah, you got to create separation. We all love the slant route. It could be super effective, but you got to beat press. You got to beat jam. You got to beat off man, and you got to create separation so there's not that bang-bang impact to knock the ball loose like that.
No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing, Baker. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be taken down well short of the marker. Give him, looks like just about 3 on that completion. That brings up 4th down. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Mayfield to throw for it. That's cut beyond the marker. And they come through to stay on the field. That is enough to set this offense up with a 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. First shot gets him 5. Still a couple of looks remaining. It's 2nd and goal. Mayfield set to pass. And he gets it away, but nowhere close to that target. Incomplete. Quick thinking just to get rid of it there, Brock, but no chance. It's 3rd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
And they apparently don't want a field goal to start this game. They want 6. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Mayfield. And the shutout stays alive in the second half as that pass falls incomplete on 4th and goal.
I think this defense was resigned to giving up 3 points on the opening series. Instead, well, they got the chance to deny them anything, and boy, did they ever attack it.
Second drive coming up for this Cleveland offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. So as this drive begins, rain starting to fall. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers, their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Here's Judkins to begin the drive. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. And I think they can finally loosen their collars just a little bit, Brock. A nice little cushion now off their own goal line.
That necktie is knotted pretty tight when you're down there smelling your own goal line, so it gives them a little room, exactly what they needed.
Stop finally made after they give up 16 on the play. And that's going to be a Browns first down. Now, we are still scoreless in this one as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up. Offense is set, 1st and 10. To the air, Sanders. Under pressure, down he goes. They got him at the 17. Vita Vea. He had 4 sacks last season, Brock, and now he's got 1 this year. A lot of work to do as that sack makes this a tough 2nd and 17. Trying again following the sack. Sanders. Defender's there, and he forces the incompletion. Good play to bring about this 3rd down. Sanders back to throw. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up. Tampa spends its 2nd timeout now, as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. They'll punt another one away. Corey Bajorquez returning to the field. And he's going to have to hit this one from the edge of his own end zone. Brought in at the 41. And he found some space to do a little damage there before they bottle him up. Tampa Bay sending it. Second drive coming up. They took their shot on 4th and goal, came away empty-handed, so a lot to like, Brock, but just need to find a way to punch it in this time. Approaching the final minute here before halftime. On 1st down, they'll run. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Back to the well again. Good defensive effort here, drives them back across midfield onto their own side. So the run goes backwards. What do you think, Brock? Is it time that they start getting a little more aggressive, take some more risks offensively?
Not in my book. You've not earned that right. I think a lot of play callers feel that same way, too. Man, you get to earn the right to be aggressive and take shots when you could do the basics, like, I don't know, run for a positive gain.
Hit there, and he's forced out. A gain of about 15 before it. And that will set up a Bucs first down. Baker now. That's a catch. Jalen McMillan. And out of bounds before he can extend for that marker, Brock, but still a gain of 9. Nicely done on 1st down. 2nd and 1. Mayfield will look to throw. And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, That is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Knocked away and hits the ground, incomplete. That brings up 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable in an incomplete.
Inside of field goal range, but the kicker ain't moving. They're going for this. Mayfield throwing on 4th. He finds him beyond the marker. And this is going to be good for the 1st down they were after. Wait for it on 4th, and they got twice that. Give him 8.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
5 seconds left, and they are going for 6. No field goal here. One final shot before the half. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Browns are stopped on that return, so that interception's going to be the final play of this opening half. So that's halftime, and we've arrived here scoreless. Now let's head over to our buddy Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Week 1 was full of surprises, full of intrigue, and a lot of firsts for the young players. What will Week 2 bring? Let's dive in. Our trip around the NFL starts now with a good divisional matchup in the black and blue NFC North. And it's the Rutgers running back, Kyle Monungai. He's going to find a seam and take it in 9 yards on the score. The Bears with the lead at the half in a battle of 1-0 teams. Why don't we go over to Charm City now? Check in on the Ravens. They're playing host to the New Orleans Saints. The Ravens always tough on defense, and this play no different here. They forced the interception. They've got room. They're taking it all the way. Pick 6 for the touchdown. The Ravens still trail, however, and that game's gone to half. Lastly, let's get a look who's getting a hot start to the year. It's our impact player from Week 2, and it's this man. And it's DJ Moore. He's going to stretch the field here, and this one is on target. 42 yards for the touchdown. The Bills do, however, wind up falling in this one. And with that, time to look at what else went down in Week 2 of the NFL's regular season. Meanwhile, in our game, neither offense has done much to speak of. 0-0 is our score, as we send you back out to the broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
All right, thanks for that hard work, Scott. These two teams ready to break this tie as we welcome you back for the 3rd quarter. We've seen one half of football and no points just yet. Let's see who can finally break that deadlock here in our 2nd half. You're going to bring him down as he gets it to the 33. Tampa Bay sending its offense out to begin the 3rd quarter. And they could take control in the 2nd half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. Back to work after throwing the pick. Knocked away, that's going to be incomplete. Defender there, and that brings up 2nd down. Well, this defensive battle just continues, Brock. They have set the tempo, been the dominant factions in this game, and that's only growing with every incompletion.
Kate, the results have been the same, but these are a couple different game plans, right? By these two different defenses, but both of them smothering and suffocating.
Running left, it's Gainwell. Gain of about 8 here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains. Okay, so they sent the blitz, but it almost seemed to backfire there, Brock. They ran through it for a pretty nice gain.
Yeah, because there's a little boom or bust, right? Is an offense, as a QB, if you see that and run away from the blitz, it can be effective like it was there.
And they get him down after a gain of 10, but great effort on his part. Pays off with a first down. They stick with Gainwell. And this play doesn't work out like the last snap, right? So he can only get back to the line as the defense all over this one.
As a corner in this league, well, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. But you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw. Left side into the hands of Hurst. And there's not going to be a score, but great effort. He's out of bounds inside the 10. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. Gainwell trying the right side. And he's going to reach the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers! Kenneth Gainwell from 8 yards out. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
That's up and through for the point after. And they've broken this tie. They've taken a 7-point lead. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded at the 7. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Browns and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. Offense to the line. Trips left. Here comes 1st and 10. Early movement along the right side. The flag comes out. So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump. And, well, they got one of them to move that time. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Sanders setting to pass. Hits him on the in route. And some good work to get the yardage back. It's a gain of 7 on 1st down.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. And a good gain here. 11 yards, it looks like. That's going to pick up a first. Now Sanders. And just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Sanders throwing on 2nd. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. 3rd and 7 now after the last catch. Got him 3. To throw now is Sanders. In big trouble now, and the ball is out. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. The Browns are lined up to punt. It'll be Corey Bajorquez doing the honors. He has it at the 22. And that return's going to come to a close as we reach the end of our quarter. This is the end of the third quarter. It's Buccaneers football with a slight lead. Just got to hang on for one final quarter. New set of downs for him from the 31. Drive begins with a run by Irving. And they're going to get him to the ground after a 16-yard gain. And that is good for a Buccaneer first down.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And a stop is made. First down coming up. It's a gain of 11.
We see it and hear it all the time. For receivers, their favorite moment is just to go up over a DB and make a play. And for these running backs, there is nothing that beats slamming right through a tackle and getting that first down.
And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
Good play call there. 15 yards for their efforts, and they got the first down. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. To the line and set. Here we go, first down. Again, this is Gainwell. And he'll gain about 7 on this one as he gets him down into the red zone. Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its second. Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Baker now off the play fake. And he's going to haul it in for the Tampa Bay touchdown. Baker Mayfield from 16 out. At this distance, a very dangerous player on any pass play because, Brock, as he's scanning the field to throw for the end zone, he's looking for an avenue to run it too.
Kate, this is exactly why it's never been harder to play defense in the NFL. The precision and the execution in the passing game, the efficiency has never been better. But then when you do cover it up, you got guys like this who can scramble and make you pay with their legs.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. This one splits the uprights. It is good. And they now lead by 14 points. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Starting from the 5. Escapes a defender. Things going well so far. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. The Browns about to get back out there as we take a look at their upcoming schedule. They're home for Carolina. Then they'll welcome the Steelers to town. And finally, a trip to MetLife to take on the Jets. Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out 1st and 10. Sanders going to look to throw. That's complete to Tillman outright. Down here after a gain of about 14 yards, it looks like. That's going to give them the first. So a timeout comes in. It looks like the defense using its first stops this game as we get close to our 2-minute warning. Two-minute warnings there to help them, but still need 2 scores and just have that lone timeout left. Man in motion here. From the gun, Judkins. And call that one a gain of, let's say, 2 yards. It's 2nd down. Offense in the hurry up here. Sanders to throw on 2nd. To the right and pulled in by Judy. And he's going to get about 3, but almost nothing after that. Tackle made quickly after he made the catch. Couldn't get the play off in time. We've arrived at our 2-minute warning. Browns 14 points back. Bucks on third down. Back to throw. Here's Sanders. He's got Concepcion on the slant. And forward progress stopped. Play winds up going for about 6. That's good for the first down. They go play fake. Now Sanders to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. So the frustration spilling over a little bit on that play, Brock. Choosing to just get rid of it, even though he did have a receiver in the area.
Yeah, I think that's right. You know, I'll co-sign on that. Frustrating. It's just been that kind of ball game, just not in any rhythm. Really, the defense dictating so much. You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
And that one's too far in front of them, so now they're facing fourth down.
That incompletion right there, Kate, it does stop the clock, and it gives you a chance. A chance to get in that huddle, regroup, and make sure you just fire your best shots here down the stretch.
Down in the fourth, offense staying out there for this. Desperation time here. It's caught. Fannin has it. And they're staying out there. They had to go for that one, Brock, and they find a way to convert. Browns fighting the clock now, trying to hurry back to that line. From the red zone, on first. To the end zone, but incomplete. Took their shot there on first down, Brock, but don't come away with any points just yet.
That incompletion does one thing, Kate, gives everybody a chance to take a little breath really on both sides. And offensively in that huddle, I'm reminding my guys, play fast, but not in a hurry. Play fast, but never rushed.
Throwing on second down, it's Sanders. And he's going to go down here. Pressure gets him at the 23. Tampa spends its second timeout now. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal. Needs something big. It's third and long. Now to throw. Pass rush is there in time once again. They down him on the last snap, Brock. Forced the incompletion this time. And those plays have brought up fourth down.
The good news there is he got the ball out of his hands and did not take the sack. The bad news is he's got to collect himself, regroup after that big hit, and make sure they find a way to execute.
They've got to go for it in this spot, Brock. This is fourth down. Here he is to throw. That one's caught. Judy has it. And not in just yet. They stop him at the 2. That's going to bring up first and goal. That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Offense in position now. It's first and goal. To the air, Sanders. And he can't hang on. Touchdown in his arms, but it slips through. Second down coming up. Sanders back to throw. And he gets it away, but nowhere close to that target. Incomplete. Quick thinking just to get rid of it there, Brock, but no chance. It's third down.
Fair to say he's just been all over the place in this one today. Some accuracy issues early. They gave him plenty of looks trying to get him into rhythm, but they just never could, and the incompletions continue to pile up.
And he hits the end zone. Touchdown! I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Accuracy perfect there as it's center cut. And that cuts the lead to 7. As we approach the final half minute of play, their comeback hopes resting on recovering this kick. Okay, they pulled it off. Now they have one final gasp. Either get into the end zone or leave here with the L.
How many times do we see these teams at this point of desperation late in the game needing a kick and not get it? So nice to see one of them actually rewarded with all that effort. Now it comes down to the execution of this offense. Can they do what their special teams just did and go execute, score a touchdown, and find a way to win? I'll tell you what, Kate, challenging this guy in a close game, you are tempting fate. He got one hand on it. He gets two. It could have gone the other way.
Throwing on second, Sanders. He's not going to be able to get rid of it. They got to him. Now the Browns spend their final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Need something big. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw it. Nowhere to go with it, so he's just going to throw this one away.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
The deficit is 7, so they have to convert here on 4th down. To throw. And they'll turn it over on downs as that pass comes up empty and off the field they go. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one. So it's a win for the Buccaneers. And they're stacking momentum right away this season as they begin the year 2-0.
The cannons of the pirate ship ready to fire in the north end zone. We can only be one place. Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa, the home of the Buccaneers. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On the visitors' sideline, it's the Vikings head man Kevin O'Connell. His squad losers last week after a victory in the season opener. His counterpart on the Bucs sideline is Todd Bowles. His guys come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans. A welcome to you, Mike Tirico, along with Greg Olson, Chase McLaughlin, set to get it started. And off we go on a sweltering hot day in Tampa. And he'll get this up past the 20, but that's it. Good way to start the game for the special teams, and the offense has a long field on drive 1. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. He's got room to run right at the start. Ho-ho! And he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line. A dynamite way to start this one. That's a gain of 27.
Well, it's hard to imagine starting a game much better than that. Great play design. You can tell all week they love that play to start the game, and, man, you can see why.
Play fake to Mason. Now it's Murray. He'll get this out to the left flat, and they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
So he makes his first catch of the day, and even though it doesn't look like much, Mike, sometimes those are the touches that you can build off of. You know, it's like in basketball, what they say, sometimes you just need to see the ball go through the hoop.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second down and 6. That one caught by the former Lion, T.J. Hawkinson. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 25-yard line. 23 yards on that pass play. First down, Minnesota. To throw is Murray. This ball batted away. That's incomplete. The intended receiver was Justin Jefferson. And that will lead to a second down.
Yeah, I think he got away with one there, Mike. I thought with the way the defender had him covered, I was actually surprised he didn't move off to his next progression. He threw that into some really tight coverage, and he's lucky that ball wasn't picked.
And he is not going to get away. That one blown up in the backfield.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
And these are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. So offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
Reichard's kick is good. Going to stop this here for injury. One of the Buccaneers is down. 3 points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. To return is Kenneth Gainwell. Now an opening past the 30. Still on the move. And he's going to take this all the way back. 93 yards. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Greg, it is a beautiful thing to watch. 11 come together. We always focus on the return man, but the entire special teams unit paves the way for that score.
And all week, Mike, when you talk to this group, the coaches thought they had an advantage in the return game, and I think we can see why. They felt their scheme and their blockers was a great matchup against this kickoff unit, and in this case, it's very easy to see why.
Mayfield to the line. The Bucs will try for 2. He'll try to pick this up with a run. And he will find the end zone and extend the lead to 5 points.
Not a real complicated breakdown needed here, Mike. In short yardage situations like that, if you have confidence in both your back and your offensive line, sometimes it's the simplest plays that have the best results.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. This one taken at the 7. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. Vikings offense back on the field, coordinated by Wes Phillips. Wes, from a great family lineage of coaches, now in his 5th season as the OC for Minnesota. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Mason. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to 3rd down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
And not much happening again. Might have lost a yard, in fact. And that's going to bring up third down. From the shotgun, it's Murray. Contact as he delivered it there, and the pass is incomplete. Good job defensively to make sure he could not find a throwing lane, and it sets up fourth down.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. Baker Mayfield brings the Buccaneers out. Greg, he's 31 now, year 9 in the league. Former #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma back in 2018.
You think back to last week and what was really a pretty bland game. He didn't do a ton that was overly exciting, but his team was still able to come out with a win. I think that's really a testament to this roster that they have built. Yes, you're going to need your quarterback to play good ball as the season progresses, but in the meantime, they are good enough around him that as he continues to find his way, this is still a tough team to match up with.
On to the second, Buccaneers in possession of the football. They've got it second down and 6 to begin. Here is a handoff to Tucker, and he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on third down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on first and second down to gain positive yards. Stay on track because you don't want to be in third and pass too often in today's NFL.
Emeka Ibuka, the intended receiver. And it's going to lead to fourth down.
And the defender does such a good job, Mike, not only putting himself in position to make the play, but how often do we see guys that are there and they just can't quite make it? In this case, he's there, knocks the ball down, really nice play.
That's taken in, and he's going to have the Buccaneers first down on a well-designed play to get 16 to keep the drive going.
Well, you can see the entire sideline and, frankly, the entire fan base kind of holding their breath. That decision on your own side of midfield to go for it on fourth down, had they not gotten it, that's a tough position to put your defense in, but that's a conversation for another day. The offense is going to stay on the field after the conversion, and now they got to see, can they take advantage of that aggressive play call and finish this drive with points?
Throwing on second down, Mayfield. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force third down.
He's just unable to secure the catch through the contact, and really nice job timing that hit up by the defense. And at this point, all you can do is get up, get back in the huddle, and hope your quarterback gives you another shot.
He's got a man. That's McMillan. A gain there of 15. It's a first down for Tampa Bay. They run with the Oregon man. It's Bucky Irving. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. Greg and I back from Tampa after a timeout. Second down, they need 7. They'll go again here with Irving. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4. And it leads to third down.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. Third and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. Fourth down coming up. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. A field goal, no gimme from this distance. They'll go on fourth down. They'll go. Mayfield. He's got his man, and Hurst has it. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
They'll come up now for second down and 4. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. Good coverage there in the end zone. That is incomplete. Terrific work. They separated the man from the football, and it'll bring up third down.
That was a perfectly timed hit, and I think it actually saved 6 points, Mike. He got there just as the ball did, and I think it was the contact that separated him from the ball.
Here's a third down and 4. Now Mayfield. That is over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Blake Cashman.
Oh, and in that spot, Mike, that's just painful to see. If the throw's not there, you want him to just get rid of it. Throw it 50 rows into the stands. Give somebody a souvenir. But worst case scenario, you've got to get to fourth down and have a shot at 3 points. But instead, after that pick, you come away with 0.
The Vikings offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. Already Sunday number 3 of the NFL season. Let's remind you of what's ahead. The Rams, who played on Monday night, another national game, and a good matchup, interconference against Denver at Mile High, followed on Monday night by the Eagles and Bears at Soldier Field. Remember the double doink game from 2018. That comes right 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Chicago time. Right back to the fullback. Trying to use that big body to get the yardage, but he is stopped for no gain. Now the Bucs will take their first timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They need 8 as they come up for third down. A give, and here comes Mason. A gain of 11 on that one. It'll be a Vikings first down.
Typically in a third down situation like this, Mike, you're thinking pass, but give credit to this offensive play caller. He flips his tendencies upside down, keeps the ball on the ground. Not only does he get a fresh set of downs, they pick up good yardage.
So, halftime straight ahead, and we send it over to Scott Hansen, who has the EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. It's only week 3 on the schedule, but already some big-name teams with big early tests. Will they pass or fail? Let's get into it. Our trip around the NFL starts now. At Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Steelers at home to take on the Bengals in the AFC North. And it's a man who's announced this is it after this year, Aaron Rodgers. One of his 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. The Steelers are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory. Meanwhile, let's check in on the Dolphins as they host the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's the rookie from Nebraska, Emmett Johnson. He'll take it all the way, 26 yards, it's a touchdown. The Chiefs move to 2-1, they get the victory here. Lastly, let's check out the front-runner for Week 3 Player of the Week. It's our impact player, and it's this man. And this is Garrett Wilson. They put a lot of trust in him, and it's well placed. This, one of 3 touchdowns for him in the game. The Jets are going to come away with the victory. They win it by 3 scores. And with that, a look at what else is going on around the NFL here in week number 3. Meanwhile, in our game, neither offense has been able to distinguish themselves. It's been the defenses that have stood tall so far. As we send you back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We'll see if adjustments at halftime change the course of this one, likely to play a big role in who's going to walk away with a W. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Across the 20, they'll mark them down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense... The Bucs offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Already Sunday number 3 of the NFL season. Let's remind you of what's ahead. The Rams, who played on Monday night, another national game, and a good matchup, interconference against Denver at Mile High, followed on Monday night by the Eagles and Bears at Soldier Field. Remember the double doink game from 2018. That comes your way 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Chicago time. They'll go again with Tucker. He's going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Good run after a good run. This one for 14 yards and another first down. Again, it is Tucker. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. 13 pretty lucky here. Back-to-back gains of 13. And another first down.
Well, here he is just taking over this drive from the running back spot. And frankly, Mike, any time the secondary and defensive backs are making a lot of tackles downfield, you know the offensive line's doing their job up front, and we can see the results.
And he will score! Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers. His second rushing touchdown of the year.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Mayfield to the line. The Bucs will try for 2. They're going to try to run it in. And he will get into the end zone and bump the lead up by 2 more.
It doesn't happen often in the NFL, Mike, but there is nothing better when the entire stadium, the opposing team, everybody knows what play is coming, and they still can't stop it. Man, what a feeling for an offense, and it's exactly the case here.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7, and he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line, and that's where the offense will take the field. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had trouble getting on track in this one. Really limited space to find an opening. The defensive front stopping him multiple times. Generally, he has not been a big factor in this game to this point. They'll start this drive with a Mason run. And he'll be met in the backfield and drop behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Now a second down throw for Murray. That one down the field, but it is incomplete. Jawan Jennings was the intended target. Third down coming up.
Pretty unforgettable performance so far in the first half, Mike, and they're going to try to figure this out here in the second half and try to gain some momentum. Figure out what's going to work, where are our matchups, and let's go try to put a drive together and get some points, because so far this has been a struggle, and they just cannot get anything going through the air.
Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards, and most importantly, a first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. Trying to claw their way back into this one, and that'll help. It's a first down. On the handoff, Mason. And he is fortunate to get past the line of scrimmage. Call it a yard at most. The rookie from Miami there on the stop. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Murray. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down.
At this stage of the game, things haven't been going your way, so one more mistake, it could just be too much to overcome. So a nice decision there. Just throw it away out of bounds and give your team a fighting chance.
And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. It'll be a punt coming from the Vikings. And he'll be looking for something better after that poor first punt. That's taken at about the 14. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. First down, and it is Tucker. Oh, big hole left side. Still on the move. And they're not going to run him down. He goes all the way. 78 yards. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Good-looking rushing touchdown there. Offensive line does its job. And that back taking off to the end zone for the touchdown.
Mike, you're exactly right. He might get credit in the box score for that long rushing touchdown, but it was the big guys up front who were able to make that play possible.
And now, after the big play, got to cut that celebration short because they're going to stay out and go for 2. They'll go with the run and Irving and make it 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions. He's into the end zone for the score. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. The Vikings make their way back out on the field. Why don't we take a look at their upcoming schedule the next few weeks? They're home for the Dolphins. Then they go to New Orleans. And after that, they'll have an early season bye week. Now the Bucs will take their first time out, and they'll get a chance to catch their breath over on the sideline. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Here's Murray. Now, screen set up for Mason. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Murray. And he just does manage to get rid of this one. Hounded by the defense. They nearly got him. Incomplete, setting up 3rd down. Working from the shotgun, it's Murray. Oh, the ball comes out. The Bucs have it. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown.
This was just a disaster from start to finish. I mean, he's retreating, he's trying to get away from the rush, but going backwards doesn't often make things better. He's hit, stripped, and defense does a nice job securing the ball and taking it back for a touchdown.
So, after the fumble return, they'll bring the offense out and go for 2. Carry now for Tucker. And he will get into the end zone and extend the lead by 2 more.
Nothing fancy here. This was old school throwback smash mouth football, and they're able to pick up the 2-point play.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it. Let's give credit to the defense. I mean, those throws, they have not been there this entire game. I mean, they have tried time and time again to test this defense downfield, and you could see a little frustration mounting from some of these receivers. They cannot connect downfield.
Well, can't afford another incompletion here. Quickly, it is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Murray. The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
You know, we say this so often in this league, Mike, the greatest strength of some of these guys can also be a little bit of their weakness. And in this case, he's trying to buy more time with his feet. We've seen him do this successfully time and time again. This time it catches up to him, and he takes the sack.
That's going to be caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, just shy of midfield. 24-yard pickup as they convert on 4th down.
Some teams just have a stronger appetite for being willing to go for 4th down tries, even on their side of the field, Mike, and we're seeing it so much more often. The days of just punting the ball back and forth and saying, hey, we're going to play good defense. Remember, the better your defense, that doesn't mean you should punt. The better your defense, the more chances you should take on offense.
And before the snap, clock is ticking down, and we reach the 2-minute warning. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Out of the gun, it's Murray. Open man downfield, it's Addison. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. A big play for Minnesota. 31 yards. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. Here's Hawkinson in motion. They run straight ahead with Mason. And that play going nowhere. The defense all over that one. They'll bring him down for a big loss. Second down, Murray. And he just does manage to get rid of this one. Hounded by the defense. They nearly got him. Incomplete, setting up 3rd down. Now Jones. He's looking for room on the edge, but could not find any. They track him down behind the line, and it's 4th down.
You know, so I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything going. And whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass.
So, fire the cannons. It's a win for the Bucks. They continue their winning ways in the month of September. They're off to a 3-0 start. So, that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Buccaneers get the win as we say so long from Tampa.